the Life Coach School motto is that anyone who works hard can build a thriving career as a life coach. Even if you think, hey, I don't have a lot of experience, or I'm not a therapist, or I don't have a degree in psychology, and you're wondering how you could help, if you have an interest in helping people, then I'd say this may be something that you could check out. Because in the past couple of years, coaching has blown up.
What is up, Impact Heroes? Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Rick Ornelas. Thank you for spending some time with us today, because we know time's a valuable resource and we're going to make it worth your while. I appreciate each and every one of you, not just for listening, but for who you are. I know you're sparking change to make the world a better place every day, and I am humbled and grateful for your efforts. It takes all of us doing our part to spread positive change, and that's what this show is all about. Motivating you with stories of struggle, courage, and hope to empower you to make a difference in your life and the lives of others.
Are you interested in having Rick speak at your event or business? Here is what others have to say.
Did not know his story, and it was so inspirational, and his presence on stage, his authenticity was just incredible.
I absolutely loved his performance. It made me feel some type of way.
If you're looking for a speaker for your next event, hire Rick. I promise you this, you will not be disappointed.
Visit rickornelas.com to book him today.
What is up, Impact Heroes? Welcome back to the show. I'm excited for another Social Impact Spotlight episode, because I get to share about someone who is doing amazing works to spread positive change. And I love sharing about these people because you may not see them otherwise. You may not learn about them on social media. And that's why we feel it's our part to share about them. So if you follow us on Instagram, then you see that every week we highlight awesome people, organizations, groups, individuals that are making a difference in creating a better world. We amplify that message that they're sharing because as we share the incredible work that they do, others learn how they spark change, and others are inspired by them sparking change. So once per month, we share one of these spotlights on the podcast so you can learn about them and their work. Because our goal is always to impact your day with positivity and inspiration. So today we spotlight the Life Coach School. Now you may be wondering, why would you spotlight a life coach school? And the main reason is because of the impact they have had on so many others, which by virtue of the work they do, extends to many, many more people. Now, the Life Coach School is best known for inspiring people to invest and care for their mental health and training the best coaches in the world by serving as an example of what's possible with a well-managed mind. Now, it consists of self-coaching and a scholars program. There's an online certification program, and they have a podcast, which is up there in the ranks among iTunes top business podcasts. Episodes get this, more than 45 million downloads. That's a lot. And in episodes with titles like Self-Image and Why Change is Hard, the founder, Brooke Castillo, delivers firm but friendly advice about boundaries, time management, and emotional regulation. I mean, she's always being very authentic and vulnerable, and so you know you're getting her true self. So I think it's important to mention also why the term coaching is key. Now, I've been a coach since 2015, since the end of 2015. I'm at the time of this recording, coming up on 7 years of me being a coach, being I call myself a personal and professional coach, not necessarily life coach, but personal and professional coach because I coach in business, I coach individuals personally and professionally, and just help make them become the best version of themselves in what I call ultimate success coaching. But for a lot of people, they don't have an understanding of coaching. And coaching is distinct from therapy, which some of you may be familiar with, because therapy tends to focus on helping, or coaching tends to help us focus on helping people improve their lives through the function, rather than treating people with clinical issues that you would in therapy. And the Life Coach School motto is that anyone who works hard can build a thriving career as a life coach. So even if you think, hey, I don't have a lot of experience, or I'm not a therapist, or I don't have a degree in psychology, and you're wondering how you could help, if you have an interest in helping people, then I'd say, this may be something that you could check out. Because in the past couple of years, coaching has blown up. I was one of the earlier ones adopting it, and I know there were many people that were into coaching far sooner than I was. But in 2020 is when it really blew up, because a lot of people were more than ever, they were anxious. I was one of those. If you've heard some of the episodes, me talk about that past. They were indoors, they were online because of the pandemic, and a lot of people had left their jobs, or they were fired and they needed to look for jobs, and they were seeking better working conditions and more fulfilling careers. So during that year alone, Life Coach School trained a record number of aspiring life coaches. So it's important that as you learn about Life Coach School, that you talk about its founder, Brooke Castillo, and her previous history, because she had a journey just like all of us. And as I say, the stories connect us all. So it's important to hear about her story. So she graduated from Santa Clara University with a degree in psychology. So she had, that interest already. But after graduation, she realized that instead of working with individuals who want to take their lives to the next level, a psychologist would be forced to focus on mental illness and everything that's wrong with the human brain. And, she wanted to do more than that. So one day, as she was watching Oprah Winfrey on television, she discovered that life coaching existed. She never even knew that it was a thing. And Oprah was interviewing a famous life coach named Martha Beck, who talked about helping people, thinking about their futures, as well as motivating them. And she was also talking with people in emotional pain, that she helped to overcome that pain. And she talked about everything that Brooke had learned about self-help so many years back. So at that moment, she was working in the corporate world. She was working for Hewlett Packard, computer company. And in her spare time, she was taking long walks and listening to personal development gurus like Oprah Winfrey. And so she decided to, sign up and become a certified life coach. So she enrolled in the person that she had heard on Oprah's show, Martha Beck. She enrolled in her 3-day coaching certification program, and she began marketing herself as a weight loss coach. She visualized the ideal clients that she would want to work with. There would be a woman standing in her kitchen at 2 a.m. eating out of the fridge. And she thought that losing weight was more about mindset than diet or exercise. And she figured if her clients were able to get in touch with the emotions that spurred them to overeat, then she told them the pounds would melt away. And she had a lot of success. So other coaches began asking about her methodologies. And she realized that she could reach many more people by training groups of people to become coaches rather than working with individuals one-on-one. And that's really, that's one of those spark moments, right? Where she had that change and decided that, look, I'm going to start helping a lot more people and think about the impact that they can have. So when she decided to open up the Life Coach School in 2007, she knew exactly what she wanted to create. She wanted to create the Yale of life coach schools. She wanted a small classroom size with motivated students who have taken time to qualify for such an amazing education and ultimately a profession. So as the school has grown in size and prestige, she has always kept her purpose of creating an Ivy League type coaching school. And if you see, some of the people that have gone through there, you realize that, yeah, they truly are providing that type of education. But in the years since, she's opted to create her own certification program via the Life Coach School. And initially it took place in person, where a few people would, gather around a small hotel in California, and they spent a week learning about her product, her signature product at the time, which, claimed it could literally solve any problem. But by 2017, she simplified her business into 2 different streams, those who wanted to be coached and those who wanted to be coached and those who wanted to become coaches. And there was a life coach certification program. So after completing the certification program, most Life Coach School graduates launch into their own coaching business. And I'd say that if a certification program, and many people ask me when they're people that I'm coaching, if they need that as they begin. And I'd say if that's something that appeals to you, if that's something that resonates with you, then by all means, go through the certification program. If it's not, then, it's not for you. It wasn't for me. I mean, there are other ways that you can learn how to coach others. And in my case, a lot of years of life experience and experience in work and the corporate world are what I draw upon when I coach others. But, in conclusion, the Life Coach School has inspired thousands of people to enroll in its online certification program. And therefore, their students now earn a living by helping people. They work from home. They get to make their own schedule and help others, which is something that I know is extremely rewarding. I know that firsthand, having been a coach, like I said, since 2015. I know that is very important. Instead, especially in these challenging times that we have, that you can get time with your family and get time with your loved ones by doing something that you're passionate about. So, it's this blend of empowerment and self-improvement that appeals to us. And that's why we feel Life Coach School is a great organization, and we want to give them recognition as our social impact spotlight for the week on this episode of the podcast. So remember, Impact Heroes, if you want to learn more about Life Coach School, we'll have links in the show notes. You can check them out. You can check them out on our social media as well. And remember, it's our stories that connect us all. I love sharing this story with you. I hope it resonated with you, and maybe some folks out there, it inspires you to coaching and to help others and to have greater impact. I'll throw this out there. If anyone does have questions, by all means, DM me, message us through the various platforms, and I will personally respond and answer any questions you have about coaching and help you in any way I can. So we hope you enjoyed learning about Life Coach School as our social impact spotlight, and we'll see you next time on the iSpark Change podcast.
Remember, Impact Heroes, every positive action can be a spark moment that has a ripple effect that spreads far beyond the initial act. So go out there and spark change. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this episode, then please smash that 5-star rating on iTunes or Spotify and leave a review. We value your comments, and we want to hear from you in the community. Thank you for listening. God bless you, and we'll see you next week on the iSpark Change podcast.